Ref Brandon in the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this Wednesday evening, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. Since it is a hump day Wednesday, it's time for another weekly top countdown. And tonight's top 10 countdown was actually requested, and it was requested 2 weeks ago. And it was requested when I was doing a live video. Somebody got on there and requested that I do this. And I want to say it was a young lady named Ashley, but I could be wrong. But she got in the comment section during a live video, and I was talking about doing top 10 countdowns. I said, why don't you do top 10 country songs from the 90s? Good evening, Kevron. Glad to have you here as always. I said, sounds good. But I didn't do it last Wednesday, and I was afraid I would forget, but thank God I didn't. So without further ado, at the request of, I want to say, Ashley, it's time for this week's top 10 countdown, top 10 country songs from the 90s. And if you're a country fan at all, you should know all 10 of these songs. You don't have to be like a overly massive, huge country music fan to know these songs and most of the artists, because it's not like there's an artist on here and you're going to say, who is that? Most of these songs, if not all these songs, are done by some of the biggest country stars from back in the 90s. Some are still around today, some are not, but it's not like it's one-hit wonder songs. It's not. Number 10, Alan Jackson, Chattahoochee. Now, I talked last week about how Clint Black might be my favorite country artist of all time. I would say Alan Jackson's probably right there, neck and neck with him. And what I base my fandom on is not the amount of top 5 songs or top 10 songs they had, or the amount of number 1 songs they had, how many songs they released, how many albums they released. What I base mine on is how many songs they have that I like, as opposed to how many songs they have I don't like. Hey there, Donna. Glad to have you here. And Donna, I think it's the first time I've seen your name in the comment section. If it is your first time being here, for whatever reason made you stop by the channel tonight, thank you very much. Feel free to give the video a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends, tell your family about the channel. There's a lot of singers I like, but almost every one of them have a song or two that if it's on the radio, I'm either going to turn the channel, talk while the song is on, or turn the volume down. But if you're an artist and every song you have I like, that puts you at the top of my list. And Clint Black has never released a song that I didn't like. Every song he's got I like. And Alan Jackson is right there with him, with the exception of Tall, Tall Trees. That's the one thing that probably make Alan Jackson number 2 behind Clint Black. Tall, Tall Trees is one of the stupidest songs in the history of the world. But outside of that, I love Alan Jackson. Number 9, Blue Clear Sky from George Strait. Number 8, Reba McEntire, Is There Life Out There? Number 7, How Do I Live from Leanne Rimes. Number 6, Martina McBride, Independence Day. And that's a good song. The only thing about that song that I hate, and it's not the song's fault, and it's not Martina's fault, but a lot of country stations every year on July 4th, or maybe the last day before July 4th, because, most people get off that day, every local country radio station will play songs about July 4th, about that holiday. So this song falls in that category, falls on that list, but it shouldn't. That song has absolutely nothing to do with Independence Day and nothing to do with the July 4th holiday. But since it's titled that and called that, it gets played on July 4th holiday, and that song has nothing at all to do with Independence Day, the July 4th holiday. Hey there, 6935. Glad to have you here. Again, 10 through 6, Alan Jackson, Chattahoochee, Blue Clear Sky, George Strait, Reba McEntire, Is There Life Out There? How Do I Live? From Leanne Rhymes and Martina McBride, Independence Day. Number 5, Go Rest High on That Mountain from Vince Gill. Probably the saddest song on this top 10 countdown. And to this day, every time I hear that song, I want to cry, because once you hear that song at somebody's funeral, from that point forward, every time you hear that song, you'll think about that person's funeral. Number 4, Faith Hill, This Kiss. Number 3, a song that honestly I would have thought would have been number 1 on the list, and when it wasn't, I was actually surprised, but it's The Dance from Garth Brooks. Number 2, Garth's wife, Trisha Yearwood, She's in Love with the Boy, and the number 1 country song from the 90s, You're Still the One from Shania Twain. Now, a lot of folks don't know that Shania Twain wrote that song for me, but she didn't realize that I'm a married man, but she actually wrote that song for me years ago, but I was underage when it came out. And then before I met her, I was a married man, but that song was actually written just for me. But this top 10 countdown comes to us courtesy of The Boot. And if you don't know anything at all about The Boot is pretty much just about, even though it's not called that, it's pretty much like a country music and country living lifestyle website. So anything at all about country music, you can find it on The Boot. So what better place to go and find the top 10 country songs from the 90s than The Boot? Now, that's the website that I used. Of course, you could go to about 75 different websites and find their top 10 countdowns, but I figured since The Boot is basically a country music, country living lifestyle website, it'd probably be the best option. I know that way it's not just somebody's opinion. It's actually probably polls they've looked at, songs they've heard, albums they've seen bought. So it's more than just somebody's personal opinion. But I actually like every song on this list. A lot of times I look at countdowns, especially when it comes to music, because I love music. And there's always 1 or 2 songs on there that I always say, I don't like that song. I don't like that song. But I actually like every song on this list, and I like every artist on this list. Now, we know Leanne Rhymes wasn't around very long, but she had some good songs while she was around. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. As I said, this was a requested top 10 countdown. I think it was Ashley, but I could be wrong, who requested it. But I always like when I get requests for top 10 countdowns, because I try to do one every single week. And I've been doing one almost every single week for 5 years. And a lot of times it's hard to come up with one. A lot of times it's hard to do one that you haven't already done. And you don't want to be repetitive, but I want to keep doing them because I like to, spend away from sports about 1 day a week. So don't always do that, because a lot of the top 10 countdowns are about sports, but some of them are not. So for the folks that don't like sports or like stuff besides sports, I enjoy doing the top 10 countdowns. I do them about music, movies, restaurants, food, TV shows, cars, vacation sites, holidays. You just never know. So thanks for that request. If you have a request, you can always let me know here in the comment section, or if you're on Facebook, you can ask me on Facebook as well. You can find me on there. Just type my name up. I'm easy to find. Just type up Brandon Todd. Can't beat it. It's a picture of me in a wrestling ring at the very top of the page, and then you'll see me and my beautiful wife on there. So I'm easy to find. Just get on there. Tell me who you are. Give me a request, and I will try my best to do it. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our Dad joke of the day in here. I was about to clean my teeth when I fell and almost died. I just had a brush with death. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of three.